Dealing with cross-combing can be difficult, especially when it comes to inspecting the hive or harvesting honey. It complicates the process of removing individual frames or bars, or performing tasks like checking for brood or honey storage. If you are new to beekeeping and don't know what cross-combing is, this is what it looks like. It's when bees build their honeycomb in an irregular pattern across the frames or bars of a hive, rather than the straight lines that we beekeepers prefer. In this video, I will show you how to fix the issue of cross-combing, and this method has worked for me over time. My hive is a Kenyan top bar hive, and this is what I use in smoking my bees: an oil palm empty bunch. For over 9 years as a beekeeper, I feel so comfortable using this despite owning a bee smoker. The empty bunch produces consistent smoke when used this way, which helps me to manage these aggressive bees. On the other hand, bee smoker's smoke often goes out whenever I try using it, perhaps because I have not found the right material to keep it smoking for a long time. I was here earlier today to inspect the hive and check for bars with fully capped honey. During the inspection, I pulled out some bars, thereby breaking the propolis, and that's why the first set of bars were not difficult for me to pull out. A comb broke off from this bar, which was part of a honeycomb that spanned across 2 bars. This particular honeycomb has a large portion of its cells capped, so we can go with it. The comb attached to this bar broke off entirely because it was also connected to another bar, and this is why cross-combing should be corrected. I experienced this same issue in the 4th bar. Cross-combing could occur if the bars are placed too close together. Just like I stated earlier, cross-combing causes difficulty in inspection and honey harvest. Removing a bar can be quite difficult because the bees use propolis to seal even the tiniest spaces or openings in the hive, except for their entrance. This causes the bars to stick together, even to the hive itself. This is why beekeepers use a spatula or knife to break the propolis and separate the bars. Propolis is a resin collected from tree buds, sap flows, and other plant sources. This is what inside of the hive looks like with the broken combs. Certainly, this caused honey to spill onto the bottom of the hive. Back to what I was saying about propolis. The bees mix this resin with beeswax and enzymes to create a sticky substance that seals cracks and gaps, as I mentioned earlier. They also use it to reinforce weak areas of the hive. After a while, the smoke began to fade, so I needed to quickly revive it. Let's talk a little about harvesting honey from a Kenyan top bar hive. Honey harvesting from a Kenyan top bar has some unique steps compared to traditional frame hives, like Langstroth hives. The key difference is that the Kenyan top bar hive uses bar instead of frames, and the bees build their comb directly on these bars. No matter the type of hive you are using, you must ensure that the honeycomb is fully capped by the bees before harvesting. This is the 5th bar with a broken comb. I experienced this issue even up to the 7th bar. In hives like a Kenyan top bar, where foundation is not used, bees may build comb in any direction if proper comb guides are not present, and this is another cause of cross-combing. Another thing that could cause it is if the hive is not on a leveled stand. In a situation like this, bees may adjust their comb orientation to accommodate gravity, leading to cross-combing. Apart from these things I've mentioned, cross-combing can also be caused as a result of the natural behavior of the bees. Bees sometimes cross-comb when they perceive it as the most efficient way to structure their hive. If that's what they want, they will definitely do it. The comb on the seventh bar was fully filled with honey and a very small portion of brood. I knew I would be taking it, so I wasn't very gentle with it. This is the brood on this side of the comb, and then a little portion on the other side. I was very careful when removing these combs, as they are very fragile, to prevent them from breaking into pieces and causing more honey to spill. These are fully capped honeycombs. During hive inspection, when combs are broken as a result of cross-combing, exposed honey and brood from damaged combs can attract pests like ants or wax moth. Apart from that, when combs are broken, it reduces productivity because bees exhaust extra energy repairing damaged combs, which could otherwise be used for honey production or brood rearing. This next bar had fully capped combs on one side and brood on the other side. I needed to be more careful when handling this bar to prevent the comb from breaking off, knowing I couldn't take it. The comb was partly attached to the last bar I removed. I noticed that ants were cohabiting with the bees. It was necessary for me to put an end to it as they could become a threat to the bees. I removed their eggs so they wouldn't return. During the harvest, some honey spilled, but it wasn't lost because the bees would feed on it. There are ways to manage existing cross-comb. For example, repositioning the comb. What some professionals do is that they attach the honeycomb to a bar or frame with string or wire. When I was done, it was time for me to put back the bars, and this is where corrections can be made. If this were a Langstroth hive, providing the bees with wax foundation would be very helpful. Cross-combing is kind of common for new beekeepers, but with some practice and understanding of bee behavior, it's something that can be managed and prevented over time. Scraping off the propolis and combs after harvesting helps to prevent future cross-combing issues. If cross-comb remnants are left behind, bees may continue to build comb in the same irregular pattern. But by removing all traces of the previous comb and propolis, you encourage the bees to start afresh and align their new combs properly. Apart from that, scraping these remnants off helps to maintain hive hygiene. Leftover comb fragments can harbor pests like wax moths, small hive beetles, and pathogens. I broke the propolis holding some bars together. I was very concerned about putting an end to the cross-combing in this hive. I removed a bar completely and created small spaces between the remaining bars. This will help correct the issue of cross-combing. The bars without spaces between them are the bars I did not tamper with.